Ciso. Oh, it's fabulous! A strike to get you up off your seats.
Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social, Season 4, Episode 48.
Oh, Benny boy. Quick, cut it off! You're going to get us in trouble.
It's definitely more than 3 minutes.
Demonetisation's in.
It's been a lot.
Yeah, we're not demonetised. We're taken down now. Copyright.
We're cooked.
Account.
We're cooked. But the reason why Ben is playing that song is because we're going to start off on a bit of a sad note today. Brian, would you like to tell our lovely viewers and listeners what is going on with yourself?
I feel like it's a real big build-up or something. Like I'm gonna go missing. Like, you're not gonna see me for
Jay Slater.
For ages.
No. Now we are getting demonetised.
I can't. You might want to restart the stream.
No,
No, we're fine. Go on.
But yeah, it's a bit mad. I think it's the right decision. As I explained to you boys, it's a very. Towards the end of last season, we struggled, didn't we, boys? Like in terms of consistency, all of us getting it into one place at the same time. Not just myself, but Ben and Maz. Always on a shoot of some description would be Maz, and Ben would be working ridiculous hours, so we would never really communicate the best until about 10 minutes before an episode when we decided to start filming. And I think just for the general sake of all of our quality, I think becomes most important in this. And I explained to these boys, it's a really difficult one to say. But I think with how we're going with a new era, I thought it'd be nice to maybe do it now and step away from the pod for next season and just see how it goes. I don't think it's a massive thing to get too worried about. I'm sure that Ben and Maz and whoever else comes on the podcast is going to be absolutely fine. But I think in terms of protecting all of our own qualities that we've been so good at for the last 3.5 years, 4 years, I think, leave it while it's sweet. Do it while it's good. Don't live too long to see yourself become a villain sort of vibe. And I think...
too late, mate.
To be fair, I've probably clocked this on a little bit too long at this point.
If you look to the comments of the last podcast, I think me and Matt did become a villain.
There you go. It tipped me over the edge. But all jokes aside, it's been a bad sort of 4 years, isn't it, really? I mean, before this podcast, I had never really, apart from an Instagram live, streamed, gone out to sort of a general public apart from on Instagram. So I think it was a really, really good opportunity for me to speak to yourselves. We when we started, I was 19. I was a teenager. Now I'm 23. I'm so old now. But it was, it's where I was in a situation of you don't really talk to people outside of your age bracket at 19, and
especially because COVID hit as well.
Yeah. So there wasn't really that mix for people.
Yeah, it was a weird time.
Older than you, so no, it's a good position for me, and I was not the best of things, so it was good to push me out of my comfort zones as well. But more importantly, presenting, hosting, speaking to great people over the last couple of years, I'm making some great memories and contacts in the process. But it all comes down to when Maz texted me and I was in Stenning waiting to pick my sister up from what she was doing, and I remember Maz just randomly texting me saying, "Do you want to start a pod?" And I thought, who on earth is this guy? and then he said, we're doing it with Ben. And I said, who is that? No, I'm joking. It was one where it came out of the blue. And I think if you look back on the first episode to this episode, 200 later,
Jesus Christ, yeah.
I'd like to think we've changed a little bit. And it's been a memorable last few years, but I don't think it's completely the end, but it is for now anyway.
Yeah.
It's a see you later.
I think that's a perfect ending, actually, because it's not like you're going to be gone forever. I'm sure we're going to have you back whenever you're free. It's just more of a time thing, and obviously, like you said, your time isn't very important, and obviously you're doing amazing stuff as well, which is great, and we love to see it. So really, really proud of your journey and what you're going to achieve. Hopefully. Like I said, got the police coming for you.
You're being Jay Slater. That's what it is. It's the nicest we've been to each other in 4 years. So now we're doing
exactly. No, but generally, it's been amazing. Yeah, it's not like the end. Like I said, we'll have you back, but it's been an absolute pleasure. It's been an amazing 4 years, and we've created some amazing memories. We've had some, just whilst we're on the subject as well, we've had some amazing guests. We've had some amazing episodes. We've had some great podcasts. So yeah, man. Honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure, and like I said, it's not the end; it's just to see you later. So, I love that. Ben, any final words before we crack on with the pod?
Yeah, of course. Well, I feel like I should do. No, I feel like this podcast has helped all of us out. To be honest. No, it has. It's helped us all massively, and it's just made like the love somehow made my love for the club even more fonder. Obviously, when Maz messaged me, like Maz was just like my brother's best mate. That I'd seen him a few times, been around my house, played Ultimate Team on occasions, but that was about it. So then that was weird. Then becoming closer with Maz, and obviously then meeting you, Ryan, as well. It's been great, and then being able to meet more fans when we go to games and that sort of thing. And like similar to you, Ryan, it's helped me out massively with my career. Like just starting doing the Seagull Social, Instagram and Twitter and that sort of stuff gave me a portfolio to be able to get the job where I have at Lad Bible now, working Sport Bible and Odds Bible. So if it wasn't maybe for that message probably if it wasn't for that message from Maz and us starting this podcast, I probably wouldn't have the job where I am today. So I think, this podcast has helped us out massively, and including yourself, Ryan, like being able to work with the club and you're achieving your dream, which is incredible. Just from, we've done this out of our own time, really. This is a hobby, it's not a job. Some people think this is a job for some reason, but I wish it was, but it's not.
It might have a bit of a different attitude on it otherwise going into the new season. But
exactly, but and it's helped us. It's helped us out massively, like I said, and especially to the listeners as well. For the past almost 4 years, it's been insane, and you've helped us out massively, and everyone's been incredible. So thank you, Ryan, for the past 4 years as well, and thanks also to the audience that have helped us get to where we are as well. We owe a lot to them.
What a beautiful 7 minutes that is. But just quickly as well, want to reiterate. We're not finishing the pod, by the way, like by no stretch of the imagination. We're still going to carry on. It sounds like we're finishing. We're not. Myself and Ben are obviously going to keep going. We're probably going to get sort of the likes of Jack, Adam, maybe someone new. We're still sort of working through all that. Obviously, we wanted to let Ryan, come on first, and we're not going to replace anyone before they've left. So we're going to have those conversations like later on. But just to say, we're still carrying on into the new season. We're going to keep going because I genuinely believe we've got something really special here. So I wouldn't want to just because Ryan's left, I don't want us to then give up because of that. So but it's been amazing.
Also, I feel like
incredible journey.
A lot of people like rely on this podcast for Brian content, so like to not do it, I feel like it's almost like a service to them, I guess, a little bit. But I know
an injustice.
If I lost some of the podcasts I listen to on the weekly, like on the tube or whatever, like I would be screwed. So I feel like we kind of owe it to them to be able to continue it. So hopefully,
definitely,
we'll be able to do that.
So
I think I agree with you as well, because it's mad when you think about it, because realistically, we're just sitting in our rooms talking over a laptop, and we struggle to see it further than that. Or at least I do anyway. It's kind of weird when I see people and they say, Seagulls Social podcast and stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, you just basically watch me having a call with a couple of my mates, and we've just pressed record on it. And I think that's really quite something in itself. But in itself, just being on these things has allowed me to be able to speak probably better than I would have been able to present myself. Did drama in school, but my God, I think I learned more on a podcast over Zoom or over Riverside than I would have ever done in a drama school. So that thing really goes to sell it for you. But no, I agree.
Yeah, no, 100%. Well, listen, like we said, it's not over. It's just goodbye for now. But let's get into the pod, boys. We've got some potentially more bad news to follow because potentially Billy Gilmour and Pascal Gross have been heavily linked. Obviously, Pascal Gross we've known about for a while.
I've had enough.
Gilmour obviously developed recently with links. I think was it 13 million to Napoli, which blows my mind because I feel like he should be worth way, way more than 13 million. Let's start with you, Ryan, first.
They only bid 8 though, Maz. That was the laughable thing.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, that was actually mental. Yeah. But let's start with you, Ryan. Do you feel like, first of all, 2 parts to this question. Do you feel like he will leave, Billy Gilmour, or do you feel like he's got enough to go, especially through this season? And then second part of the question is, what is his reflective market value, do you think, in your eyes?
Yeah, to be fair, I think answering the second question first, probably, because, you're looking at 12 million being apparently our asking price, and that's from Alex Crook, who so recently has been so reliable for us, which I found really hard to believe. Not to discredit him whatsoever. I'm sure he's got it from somewhere reliable to say that publicly. But I guess that's the price tag for him. But for me, you've got to be looking upwards of at least 20 because of how good he was for us last season. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I get why people say that he, may not get as much opportunity this season because we've already made some great signings, haven't we? In midfield, we've already made Wifa, Yao Kue, and who else? We've got obviously Carlos Baleba as well. So I guess there's a good competitive market in midfield, but then, yeah, maybe we just don't see Gilmour. Maybe this the new manager doesn't see Gilmour in the plans, or what does he see Gilmour good at for his system? Is it going to be a different one to De Zerbi's, where we're not so much always on the ball? Are we going to be a bit more pressing? So maybe Gilmour might not have that capability that maybe we thought he did, but we'll see. But for me, it does feel like he could leave. Yeah, I must admit, from breaking it down and seeing that come out, I do fear that could be Billy Gilmour departing.
Sad news, Ben. What do you reckon? How are you feeling about it?
I'd hate to see him go for sure. I don't know if Romano hasn't even tweeted about it either. So I'm not sure how factual it is. I saw some fake tweets on Twitter getting proper ragging. Yeah,
he made a fake tweet from Romano saying
so I don't know. I think Oh, that was it. Yeah, and he spelled Billy Gilmour.
Barber confirmed it. Barber confirmed the bid rejected this morning on TalkSport, I believe.
Oh.
So what, the 8 million?
Wonder why Romano and Orsi went on it.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, he didn't actually say the 8 million, but yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I still can't get over that. But talking of system, Ben, obviously Herzler, correct me if I'm wrong, he plays 3 at the back with wing backs, and then 3-man midfield with sort of basically 2 up front, or 2 sort of, however you want. Is that? I'm pretty sure that's how he usually likes to play with those fullbacks. Do you feel like he'd fit that system if he was to stay? Do you see him starting? Obviously with Wifa coming in as well.
Surely. That's the thing. Yeah, I don't know if he starts, but again, I'm trying to think how that midfield lines up. To be honest, I know we tried to do it in the last episode, but maybe Billy Gilmour doesn't start. That's a good point, actually, because then you will have Baleba and Wifa potentially, and then if Gross stays, you get Gross in there somehow. So yeah, maybe it could be true. Maybe Napoli knows something that he could be available and might not be in Herzler's plans. That could be true, but that'd be such a random signing for him to go to Napoli. Out of all teams, it's very strange.
Well, there's that. Is it Lewis Ferguson?
They play quite a lot of possession, don't they?
Yeah.
Sorry, I've got a bit of a delay on you, Maz. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
No.
But they play quite possession-y football, don't they? Which is more up Gilmour's street, I'd say. Because obviously, physically, last season we got run over, didn't we, without Caicedo? And we've gone over that conversation so many times. But physically, we got so run over, and probably pressing-wise, similar. So maybe in that respect, is Gilmour going to fit into a Herzler side that wants to press? And I think he likes his midfielders dropping into defence. And realistically, you'd want a 6'2", 6'3" profiled Wifa, who's a similar sort of profile to like a Declan Rice, or Baleba, who's a similar sort of profile to, say, like a Basuma. A lot more physically dominant, and someone that's going to drop in and be able to cover. So maybe he sees it that way rather than, Gilmour with all his great passing ability probably isn't going to be the person to physically dominate anybody, is he?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, maybe it is.
And also as well, with Gilmour potentially going, does that mean we're going to get another incoming? Obviously, it's good time to talk about Gruder. I know he's a different profile. He's not the same as Billy Gilmour, but Brian Gruder from Mainz has obviously been heavily linked. He's been linked with Bayern Munich, Liverpool as well. So, yeah, what do we think? Do we think he's going to come in, or do we think another additional midfielder is going to come in, Brian? We'll start with you.
I mean, I looked at Gruder a lot because he's practically dubbed as that wonder kid material, isn't he? With a very, very, I think he's probably a bit more than the wonder kid we would have wanted, which is why I guess Fabrizio's called him the dream signing. But it looks like quite a reliable thing. I mean, Fabrizio's obviously put it out now. I think, what's his name? That one from the German reporter in Sky, Plettigol or whatever his name is. Yeah, him. So I think it's come from quite reliable sources. I mean, he's a German right winger. I think he can play across the three, being sort of attacking midfield as well. So looks very promising. Obviously linked with huge clubs like Bayern Munich. I think scoured him a couple of years ago, and Liverpool were linked with him not so long ago as well, I believe. So very, very diverse player. Another one to add to the list. And you look at more maybe like a Dingra and etc. who could be on the way out and see, and as we said in the last podcast, maybe it is for the right to stack up on wingers, because they can, if they're not firing, you have another one to fill in.
Well, is he potentially the replacement for Gross if he leaves, and then Gomez from Inter Miami, Diego Gomez, could potentially be the Gilmore replacement?
I'd see Gomez as like almost maybe more like a Dewsbury Hall replacement. Although Dewsbury didn't technically sign for us, but I think Gomez was more like he's attacking, but he's also can sort of drop a bit deeper as well.
I've heard it's a bit
probably
of a box
would
to
need
box.
a bit of extra time. Yeah, he's basically a box to box, but he's quite clinical as well, I believe. At least this has come from Roberto Roya. So if he's wrong, shoot down him, the Paraguayan reporter. But no, we'll see. He looks good anyway.
Well, that little link up with Enciso could be interesting as well.
Well, we'll be able to see him at the Olympics. I think both of them are playing in the Olympic team.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
So that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, so we had a few people linked, obviously. Yeah, like I said, Gomez, Gruder, and then in terms of outgoings, obviously we spoke about Gilmore. Let's talk about Abdullah Sima, because we haven't really spoke about him much. Obviously, he's Sim Simmer, who's got the keys to the bimmer. He's obviously another attacking option. We're full of them at the moment, it seems like. But Rangers want him back. Obviously, went on loan there. They want him back permanently. And he's apparently going to get some minutes in our first preseason game against Kashima Antlers in Japan, obviously. What do we think of Simmer? Have you guys seen enough of him to make a judgment? Ben, we'll start with you.
He's only ever popped up on Twitter occasionally when he scored in for Rangers, really, isn't he? He scored a couple belts in the
in the Old Firm he scored as well.
Yeah, but then all the comments when Brighton fans have quote tweeted it or tweeted the video saying, "Oh, Simmer's on fire." A lot of the comments from Rangers fans are he's not always like this. He's still been a bit trash. So I don't know. I don't see him having any future at Brighton, to be honest. Get a little bit of money from him will be good. I think the best thing he done for the club was the pod title we had, which was Sim Simmer, who got the keys to the. That was probably the best thing he's done for us, to be honest. So yeah, get him gone.
For God's sake. Ryan, are you also sharing Ben's thoughts? Do you think it's time for him to go?
Possibly. I think I'll wait and see how he does in that game on Wednesday. Well, the only reason I say it is he's like that. He's a bit of a Welbeck mould, isn't he? So whether we see him as a Welbeck step in next season, if he's happy to play a bit part in the team next year. But yeah, I would see him going realistically. But again, I'll probably wait to see how he goes on Wednesday, because that could be quite interesting. It's basically the test of, if you're good enough, prove it. This is your chance. If not, then unfortunately we'll probably be looking to move you on.
Oh, my button wasn't working there. Yeah, no, 100% agree. I think it's a shame because, yeah, I'll be honest, I haven't seen enough of him. Like I said, I watched the Old Firm derby when, was it 3-2 or 4, whatever the mad scoreline, 4-3, something like that, where he scored. But yeah, aside from that, I haven't really seen much of him. And I think we're so stacked in those sort of forward areas. Even if, let's say he does play as an out-and-out striker, you've got ahead of him, you've got obviously João Pedro, you've got Ferguson, you've got Welbeck, Undav even ahead of him. And then if you look at the wide position, in my opinion, again, Matoma, Adingra, even like an Enciso or Buonanotte, I'd still pick them over him. So yeah, I think unfortunately his time is done. But it's a shame because we're so stacked in every position. But talking of pre-season in Japan, how excited are we, boys? The first bit of action. Obviously, we had a behind closed doors friendly with Sheffield Wednesday, which I believe we won 3-0. And I saw a bit of Kara Matoma. He looked decent. Done a little bit of an outside of the foot swaz cross, which was lovely to see from Kaoru Matoma. But yeah, we haven't seen the team play yet. So how excited are we, Ryan, about pre-season in Japan? And then of course we've got some games as well later on against QPR and Villarreal as well.
Yeah, it's nice to get back, isn't it? I've got to be honest, I hate pre-season friendlies. I just get so bored of them. But they're something to watch. It's nice to see. I'll tell you what, the one in America last season, I actually really enjoyed. Yeah, that was all right. But then it probably was. I mean, when you look at all the teams that were there, Brentford, Newcastle, Chelsea, Brighton, of all them teams, all of us have struggled with injuries last year. And I don't know if there's any coincidence. It could just be a complete coincidence. But I mean, when you look at all the teams there, they were the worst struggled injuries last year. So
I actually never clocked that. Fair play.
Well, like if you think about it, then like we're complaining about fixture congestion and players playing too much, and then we just jet them out to Japan to come back again. So it is a bit hypocritical, isn't it, modern football? But look, it should be good fun. It's a good market, obviously, for our Japanese fans and followers abroad. So it'd be nice to see them probably, and they get a taste of what it's like to be a Brighton fan, seeing them play. So that's Ryan, good.
If you weren't leaving the pod, we would have had the title something to do with Japan. So
we're missing out on views here, mate.
Yeah. Next week I'll be gone, mate. Don't worry about it. I know how it is.
Next week when you've done it, we're going to.
Well, we could just say
Japanese title.
Karamatoma kicks Ryan off the podcast. That's your title.
Seagulls social. You can no longer send DMs to this group chat. I'll be kicked. I'll be blocked every social media platform. We should do it. We should just fake it. Oh, it'd be funny that.
Speaking of pre-season friendlies, QPR tickets are live, but it's over my cousin's wedding that weekend, so I can't go. I would have been gutted, man. It's so close to where I live.
When is it?
Surely Brighton QPR is more important.
Fair.
Yeah, well, to be fair, it's either that or Brighton Pride, and Brighton Pride is probably the biggest event of the year, so that would have been a tough one as well. Game at 3, back to Brighton for Brighton Pride. Get absolutely
perfect.
Wankered. Yeah, but I can't because it's the wedding. So I imagine other Brighton fans will be doing that anyway. So that'll be a class weekend.
Sounds like an unbelievable.
Sounds like a great weekend.
But yeah, no, Ryan. To be fair to you, mate, I sort of agree with that. As actually the whole part of putting more strain on players when we don't necessarily need to potentially. So yeah, hopefully they come through unscathed. Pre-season hopefully goes well for them. But like you said, it's a good PR trip, isn't it, for the club?
Let's
be honest, it's just a big exposure piece, isn't it?
It is insane though, Maz. Like watching, also credit to the team out that are making the Brighton videos and the content and admin and all that lot, because like seeing the team arrive and then seeing loads of Japanese fans going absolutely mental. I know we've got Matoma, which is probably why they're all there, but like even like there were Japanese fans chanting like Herzler's name. It was just the classic how far we've come, another one. But it is mad. We're having a pre-season tour in Japan, not because other clubs are there, but because we're there. We're the stars. It's insane.
That is insane. Considering what we were playing pre-season games against Lewis and Haywards Heath, and now we're playing. No disrespect to Lewis and Haywards Heath.
Kick it Crawley. Oh,
now we're doing it in Japan. So it is mad. It is mad. Like to think about how far we've come as a football club. And then also as well, another thing I want to talk about. And Ryan, we'll start with you on this one. I saw a clip on Herzl. I'm sure we've all seen it on socials about him doing his little principles, little chat. That was quite inspiring.
2 culture points.
Yeah, the 2 culture points. What do you think of that, Ryan? Does it fill you with more confidence? Like he seems like a bit of a great manager potentially.
Yeah, he seems like a sort of a paternalistic figure, isn't he? He's quite, father sub. He's quite arm round the shoulders of the players. Mr. Nice Guy, I suppose, if you like. I'm sure that he's got the other arrogance to him as well. At least you have to, don't you? As a football manager these days, you have to have both sides. You can be a nice guy, and then you can also be ruthless enough to tell people no. But hopefully he's got both sides to his game. Obviously, we've only seen a Mr. Nice Guy act so far. But no, he does. He seems like a great guy. Tactically, I'm really excited to see what he looks like. And to be fair, that is one good thing about particularly Wednesday and Sunday's games in Japan is we're going to see tactically where we're at and what the new Brighton could look like.
Yeah, 100%. And Ben, on the whole Herzl little piece, do you feel like that was a bit of a not a PR move, but like when clubs do put those clips on, like, oh, look at our manager, look how look how sort of down to earth he is, or like how, like Ryan said, he's got those traits about him. Do you think it was a bit of a PR move, or do you feel like that's generally what he's like, and they just caught him in the act?
I think it's genuinely what he's like. I think the funniest part for me was the coach before. It must have been like one of the fitness guys, and he was like, lads, I was on a 5K and I was sweating before I'd even started. So make sure to drink water before training, during training, and after training. Otherwise, you'll be dehydrated. I was like, can you see all the players just like, yeah, sure. But also the other interesting thing was, whilst Herzl was talking, all the players just stood there looking at the PowerPoint presentation, but James Milner could not take his eyes off him. He was just watching him the whole time. I just thought it was quite interesting. I don't know whether maybe it's because Milner's like maybe taking notes because he wants to be a manager or a coach in the future, or whether just that's James Milner in general. But yeah, I just thought that he was like the odd one out, the only person really like not concentrating, but the only person watching his every move and looking at him whilst he was talking. Yeah, proper listener, taking everything in. So
I think
I guess that's the leader that he's got.
Isn't it?
Yeah, the experience, the leadership. Maybe he wants to hear that and then reiterate it to the other players as well during training. So I thought that was quite cool, and it's good to have him in the squad if he's still doing that.
Yeah. No, 100%. We need. I think we need those leaders. Especially, I saw the other day, our average age of our squad is 23.9 years. Like, basically 24
great
years
age.
of age, which is a great age. Which is obviously, you need. Yes,
23 point what?
I think it's 23.9. I believe something like that.
Oh no, I'm still slightly younger.
Yeah, but that's mad to think how young our squad is. So we will.
And our manager, the manager's younger.
Our manager's 31. It's actually that actually blows my mind. It actually blows my mind. The fact he's younger than me is actually insane.
Slap that one in it.
That is a tough one to say. We're gonna need what's it called? We're gonna need all the people we can get. Yeah, so like Milner. Welbeck, and because it's actually insane. They're older than Hurzeler, like by 5-6 years. So they're definitely going to have to. I didn't know that actually. Did you know Yamal was 17?
Just turned, yeah.
Apparently 16 as well.
Just turned, yeah. And Luke Littler, yeah. But right, boys.
Sorry, quickly on experience, Maz. I saw your hear me out, Ryan. I'm backing your James Rodriguez shout. I'd absolutely love James Rodriguez playing for Brighton of Albion. That would be unbelievable.
Imagine that. But where does he fit in though, Ben? Is that more of a dream? Is that a dream signing? Is that a bit of a
maybe if Pascal goes, he can play deeper. He can't. Yeah, he could play as a 10. He could maybe fill in that Pascal Gross role.
Side, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely more of a 10. Because I saw someone comment being like, he's a winger. I was like, bro, do you watch football?
Yeah, and I saw that. I was like, when's James ever been a winger? In my memory, I've never seen James play on the wing.
He's so slow as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as a 10, it would be incredible. And the experience. I'm sure all the other South American youngsters that we got would absolutely love him. So, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Obviously, wages probably doesn't make sense at all. But FIFA career mode, Ben would sign him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, of course you would. And also, though, you got to take into consideration, though, his time at Everton. Look, he had a great, 6-month spell, and then he sort of just fell off and left. So
yeah, you would if you lived in Liverpool, though, wouldn't you?
God's sake, we're
Columbia
so
2014 though. Reload it. Oh my gosh, some of the greatest memories of the recent generation is provided by James Rodriguez. Like that. Yeah. That brace is just one of the best moments in my memory of being a football fan at my sort of generation. I reckon. I reckon if you ask most sort of early 20-year-olds what's the most biblical moment you remember in terms of football, James has got to be in the top 5. Top 3 minimum, definitely.
Yeah. That volley was unbelievable.
Definitely.
Right, boys, any other business before we get on to our special treat for everyone?
Any other business? Oh, Verbruggen's injured, didn't he, for like 6 weeks? Who else? There wasn't someone else injured.
Did we not? We didn't chat about that, did we? That's a big blow. That is a big blow. Let's talk about that, actually. Yeah, good shout.
Also, before I get as well, we can move on to João Pedro as well, because some people thought he was going to leave because he wasn't in Japan. But
yes.
Apparently it's because it's a broken rib as well. We'll do both.
Yeah, he's home.
Yeah, let's do both. Yeah, so Bart Verbruggen, like you said, Ben, is out for 6 weeks, which is huge. And also, again, there's been a lot of conspiracy theories around João Pedro and Verbruggen because the amount of time they're out, which is basically takes them to the end of the transfer window. So people think that it's like a ploy or something. But we can confirm they are legit injuries. Is that right, Ryan, our correspondent?
Oh God, it's throw my name under that one, isn't it? But I definitely would think it always makes me laugh as to how people go so deep into stuff and they really overthink really small things with anything to do with players and stuff. I wouldn't get too worried. I mean, I think Pedro's is a genuine injury, at least from what I can see. And I think Verbruggen, I'd imagine, is probably the same situation. And it's a good opportunity for Kyle Rushworth now to really step up to the plate and, without discounting.
Do we think he starts though?
Jason Steele too much.
I was about to say,
it's between him and Steele.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I would much rather see Rushworth.
Every single loan. I mean, look at Rushworth, right? His career path reminds me so much of Ben White. I feel like he's probably the one loan, along with Ben White, that I've actually actively taken an interest in, because every time he's gone on loan, we've only ever heard good things. And I have a mate who's a Walsall fan, and I have a mate who's a Lincoln fan, and I know a Swansea fan. And every single one of them have said how good he is, and obviously Worthing's so easy to get access from as well. So every loan, everyone said, Carl Rushworth, if he isn't playing for you, you've got something wrong with you, or you've got some crazy good goalkeeper in there. And I was I'll shout out Lewis, he's a Lincoln fan, and he said, mate, he's an absolute joke. He said he's by far one of the greatest players that's ever played for Lincoln, and he was only 18. I think Swansea fans have said a similar sort of thing.
I've seen Swansea fans probably hyping him up.
Yeah.
No, mate, I would love to see Rushworth get his chance. I think it'll be great for him. And also, what I've not really got in the last sort of, let's say, 5-6 years, as you know, as we're signing more players, and we like, do you remember Christian Walton? Like, he signed, and everyone's like, "Oh, this big thing from Plymouth." Like, he's gonna,
my God.
yeah. Do you remember? He was like, "It's going to be this next big thing from Plymouth." He's going to, and he's never got a look in, never got a sniff. And I feel like goalkeepers have always been
home debut. I'll never forget.
Yeah.
Gary Gardner, what a goal!
But he just never really got a sniff, and I feel like I can see that happening to Rushworth, and I don't want that to happen. I want him to be given a chance for us to then actually.
It's a lot harder for goalkeepers, I guess, isn't it? Because like it's such a vital position. Like, you can bring in a Jack Kilsherwood and stick him at right back for a game just because if you need cover, but bringing in a youngster or committing them to a full season as backup rather than getting 13 football, that's the issue. That's the difference, I think.
Do you remember when Palace did it against us? Who was that guy when a goal?
I have no idea what his
name
was.
The young fella, remember? Yeah, and I think we only beat him 1-0. What was his name?
What's his name? Whit something, wasn't it?
Whitworth?
Whitworth. That was him.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then we haven't heard from him
in
since.
The first 7 minutes, didn't he? Yeah, something like that. And he just put it. He should have saved it, actually. But he was a Palace fan, so to be fair to him, that must have been pretty mad. Your first game being, as a Palace fan, being in goal against Brighton. Then losing. So, thanks for that.
Yeah. Unlucky. And we never saw him again. So.
Before João Pedro as well, Kasper Kozlowski, another one, a lone player that I watched with great interest in it. Wasn't he a golden boy as well? Once upon a time?
Yeah,
we thought he was going to be unbelievable.
Huge talent, yeah.
I think he's gone. I can't remember what the name was there. It was like GFC was on the badge. I thought he was linked with a Turkish team. Maybe it is them. Maybe he's in Turkey.
I think it's Turkey. Yeah, he left to go Turkey, yeah.
Okay, so, I mean, good luck to him. It's a shame that his talent didn't, come to what a football manager, mate. His potential was always insane. So, it's crazy that he hasn't done it. Just shows video games aren't always factual, kids. Just let you know.
Yeah, who'd have thought it?
I think you should have told yourself that, Ben, I think. But anyway, Ryan, final words, mate. Well, it's not the final words because you'll be back at some point. But until next time, what words do you want to leave with?
Thank you, boys, for having me. It's been great fun, hasn't it? Let's face it.
Pleasure.
I mean, even that was a lot of fun.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you for letting me speak to so many cool people. And it's been a mad few years. We basically carried lockdown. Got me through that horrible lockdown year. I think if it wasn't for that, actually, maybe I'd have been a little bit more mentally sane watching Brighton play because I wouldn't have had to talk about it again for an hour and a half afterwards. But no, it's been great fun, boys. Thank you very much for having me on. And I'm sure at some point in the very near future, there'll be something else going on. But for now,
Ryan, best moment and worst moment. For worst moment, I think, let's do it for all three of us, but obviously you as well, as you can think. I think worst moment off the top of my head, because you were saying COVID, we never used to do it, but we immediately recorded straight after Benteke's last minute winner, I'm pretty sure.
Yep. Mate, my head was so far gone.
Oh, yeah.
My head was so far gone
that was
on that game.
That was rough.
And the abuse I got from Palace fans was long as well.
Yeah.
But I would still say the worst moment... I'll break it down like this, right? Because I look at it as like
your internet
that
connection?
West Brom game. Yeah, fair. Losing Wi-Fi as knock-up was on the other end of the line. That was bad.
The fire alarm.
The fire alarm from knock-up. Yeah, or fair. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Worst moment though on air, probably. I think the West Brom one. Do you remember how many chances we missed and trying to convince fans that Potter wasn't the problem and saying how can he physically let that debate was crazy. That drove me insane. That 2021 period, I think, will actually forever haunt me. And having to do them podcasts trying to almost convince the fans that we were right and they were wrong. How boring was that conversation?
XG.
The great moments, though, I think meeting new boys in different situations. Meeting Maz at Box Park was a lot of fun. Getting me in there, that was great. And he bought me a Madri as well to boot. I think meeting Ben, if you remember, I could do the ones where I've met you before, but I think the best one was after Palace when Mope scored. And I think I jumped on your shoulders as soon as it happened. I saw you, I was like, Ben! And I jumped on you. And it's the first time I met my dad. That was fun. That was good.
Unbelievable. Some unbelievable memories. My personal highlight was generally our interview with Knockout.
Maz, I think, is your phone on the laptop?
Oh, sorry.
That's right.
Is it all right? Sorry. One of my favourite ones was definitely the interview with Knockout, just purely because, well, aside from the fire alarm, because that was annoying as hell, but like in terms of like the actual content of the interview, I thought it was brilliant. That was really good fun. And also, some of the guests we've had, like, it's actually like unbelievable. We had Norman Cook, we had Mikael Smith, we've had, like I said, Knockout, Orlandi, mate. Buckley, we've had some unbelievable guests. So it's been amazing.
Casper Akerin with his Call of Duty headphones on.
Oh my god, that was cool.
That was a good interview.
That was good. We forgot to ask him if he smokes on
as well. Matisse and that as well. We had on recently.
Yeah. Chris Hamill as well was good.
It was great fun.
Yeah, Marcus Smith. Fucking hell, mad. Mate, look at this, boys. We're unreal. Right, without further ado, we are unbelievable. This is the greatest the greatest Brighton Hove Albion podcast in the world. We are Seagulls Social. We'll see you again sometime, Ryan. Ben, we'll see you next week at some point. If you liked it, if you enjoy it, please keep showing love, keep supporting. We really do appreciate it. And
comment below saying, see you soon, love heart, Ryan Adsett, or something like that.
Yeah.
Lovely message to Ryan.
Yeah. Or give us your best memory of Ryan. Give us Ryan's best memory from you.
That'd be nice.
That'd be lovely.
Good to hear what people say. I'm kind of scared for when this goes out. See what people say, but we'll see.
It'll all be love. It'll all be love. Right. Until then, peace out.
Peace.